guys, Liam from ZenYogaHealth here. A 35-minute or so routine with emphasis to releasing into the quads. Just come to the front of your mat, feet together or about hip distance apart, and bring hands together into prayer position or rest down by your thighs. Take a moment or two to steady your breathing. When you're ready, step the feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, stretch hands up. To interlock the fingers, push the palm of the hands upwards. Take another good breath in, stretch right up, exhale. Rotate to your left hand side. Another breath in, push upwards through the heel of the hand, and then exhale, come back to center. Inhale, push upwards through the heel of the hand again, and exhale, turn to your right hand side. Just hold for a breath, push upwards again through the palm of the hand. Exhale, come back to center. Rest your interlocked fingers down at the back of your head. Take a breath in to stretch the elbows back. Turn your head a little to the left hand side. As you exhale, let's turn fully to the left, rotating from the hips all the way through up into the shoulders. Remember, your head is turned a little to the left here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn your head to the right before then rotating through the hips, elbows and shoulders all the way to the right hand side. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, now rest your chin down towards the chest. Inhale, stretch up and back. Exhale, elbows into midline, chin down to chest. Inhale to stretch up and back, the elbows back, the chest open. And exhale, release your hands down towards the knees. Let's inhale, push into the knees, lift your head up, extend your back. Exhale, round your back, chin down to the chest. And inhale, extend your back again, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Exhale, other way, round your back, chin to the chest, pushing into the knees with your hands. Inhale to extend your back, lift up your head, lift up the shoulders, push into the knees. Hold it there, an extra breath. And then when you're ready, next exhalation, just relax forwards, walk your hands down towards the ankles, the feet. Eventually bend your knees enough to rest your hands down on the floor. Let's turn the head to the left hand side and then bend the left knee. So we stretch the hips over to the right hand side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn your head to the right hand side, resting the chin more or less to the shoulder. Bend the right knee and stretch over to the right hand side. Inhale, come back to center and step back with your right foot. Exhale, step back with the left foot, lower your knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into an easy cobra pose. Exhale, lift up your hips and knees into downward facing dog. Just walk out your down dog if you like, alternating bending the knees from left to right and back again, lifting and lowering the heels, pushing them down into the mat. Inhale, come forwards into a high plank pose, and exhale, push the hips and shoulders back. Inhale, float hips and shoulders forward, and exhale, back again. And then inhale, float forwards, hips and shoulders forward. Keep the navel a little tucked in as you do so. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step forwards, right foot. Exhale, follow with the left foot, forward bend. Inhale, stretch out and up, fingertips together up towards the ceiling. Exhale, return to your forward bend. Inhale, step back with the left foot, step back with the right foot. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, left foot. Exhale, the right foot. Inhale, stretch out and up. And exhale, return to forward bend. Inhale, step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot. Exhale to lower knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just hold. Spread out the fingers and the toes. Push the heels down into the mat, lift the tailbone. Inhale, come forwards, rest the knees down to the mat. Rest your right elbow down to the floor directly underneath the shoulder. Push into the mat with the left hand, push down into the mat with the right elbow. So you're releasing and stretching into the upper back. Inhale and stretch up the left hand to the ceiling, directing the gaze up to your left thumb. Continue pushing in actively through your right elbow. Another good breath in, exhale to rest the left hand down, lift up the right hand. and then exhale, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards, rest the knees down again. Rest your left elbow down this time. Push into the mat with your right hand and with the left elbow. Again, releasing into the space between the shoulder blades, into rhomboids, middle and upper trapezius. Inhale, stretch up with your right hand, turning your gaze to look up towards the right thumb. Another good breath in, stretch up and back. Exhale to rest the right hand down. Lift up the left hand, take a breath in, exhale. Lower chest and chin down, inhale up into cobra, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forwards with the right foot. Exhale, the left foot, forward bend. Inhale, stretch arms out and up. Exhale, return to forward bend. Inhale, step back with your left foot. Step back with the right foot. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then just hold. Next inhalation, float up the right foot. If you like, you can float a little higher, eventually bending the knee, lifting up the hip and rolling back. Bend the right knee so we stretch out to the quad, or begin to stretch the quad. Then either hold or now reach up with your left hand to rest it on the hip. Eventually to reach all the way around with the left hand towards the right ankle. And then just hold, putting a gentle stretch into the quad. Push in with your right hand. Next exhalation, rest the left hand down, rest the right foot down. Lower the knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, a rest breath in child's pose. Hips down on the heels, stretch the fingertips forward. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, down, dog head up or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's inhale, float up the left foot this time. Let's either just hold or float as high as you can, lifting up the right hand to reach around towards the right hip or eventually towards the left foot. So left knee is folded, holding on to the left ankle for additional stretch into quad and hip flexor. Push in with your left hand. Exhale, now rest the right hand back down, follow with the left foot and the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale to downward to child's pose. Take a little rest breath there if you like. And then return to the hands and knees, lower the chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forwards, left foot. Follow with your right foot, forward bend. Inhale, stretch out and up. And exhale, back to mountain pose. Inhale, stretch out and up, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, step back the right foot. And exhale, rest the right knee down to the mat into a lunge position. Just hold, or now lift up onto your left knee. Begin to push the hips a little forward, turn the left foot and knee a little out. Stretch both hands up to interlock the fingers, crescent moon pose, directing the index fingers up. Maybe add a gentle back bend here if you like, being very careful with your low back, keeping your bandhas quite engaged in the tummy and in the pelvic floor. Exhale, let's rest both hands down to the mat inside of the left foot for lizard pose. Rest the right elbow down to the mat directly underneath the shoulder. Just hold, push in with your left hand, or continue on to stretch the left hand up to the ceiling, rotating our lizard pose. Direct the gaze up to your left thumb. Next exhalation, just rest the left hand or elbow down to the mat inside of the left foot, or if you're a little stretchier in the hips today, bring the left arm underneath the left leg. You could rest the forearm or the elbow down outside the left foot, relax your head forwards. Next inhalation, let's lift up onto the hands, Step back with your left foot. Exhale to lower knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, feet up into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot forwards. Exhale, the left foot forward bend. Inhale, stretch arms out and up. And exhale to forward bend. Inhale, step the left foot back. Rest the left knee down. Come up onto the right knee. Turn the right foot and knee a little outwards. Inhale, stretch arms up to interlock the fingers. Direct the index fingers up if you're comfortable with a little back bend. Tuck in the navel and lean back gently. Direct the gaze up to your thumbs. Another breath in. Exhale to rest both hands down inside the right foot this time. Inhale to push in, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, rest the left elbow down. Push into the mat with left elbow and with right hand, freeing into the upper back again. Hold or rotate the pose. Inhale, stretch up with your right hand. Direct the gaze up to the right thumb. Just hold. Keep pushing in with the left elbow. Another good breath in. Exhale to rest the right elbow back down. Hand down to the mat if you like. Rest the elbow down. If you're feeling a little stretchier in the hips, then take the right arm outside of the right foot, resting the forearm or the elbow all the way down to the mat, relaxing your head forward. Just rest. And then inhale, walk up onto the hands again, step back with your right foot. Exhale, knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step left foot forward. Exhale, the right foot. Inhale, stretch arms out and up. Exhale, mountain pose. And inhale, step out with your right foot. A good wide step out, 3 times the width of the hips. Turn the toes in, heels out. Inhale, stretch arms out, up and back. Exhale, relax forward into wide stance forward bend. Prasarita Padasana A. Inhale, push into the mat with your hands. Exhale, bend the left knee and walk your hands over to the left hand side. Push out through the right foot. Hold, or if you like, take the left shoulder towards the left knee, left arm underneath and outside of the left foot. And just hold. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's bend the right knee this time. Walk your hands over to the right hand side. Just hold, pushing into the mat with your hands, or if you're comfortable to do so, take your right arm underneath the right leg and outside of the right foot. Relax the head down, push outwards through the left foot. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, just relax your head down towards the floor. Walk your hands back, keep them about shoulder width apart. Knees can fold as much as you like here. Remember, energy locks engaged in the tummy, Uddiyana Bandha, and in the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Steady breathing, resting here, and then inhale to lift up. Exhale, turn your head to the right hand side and rest it back down towards the mat again. Remember, your head could be lifted up quite a bit from the floor here. You can still turn the head gently to the right side. Take a breath in, walk hands out and up. Let's come all the way up, stretch all the way out, and exhale. Let's step back to the beginning of the mat. Looks like I forgot to do the left hand side there. Turning the head. Sorry about that. Okay, let's come into tree pose. So come onto your left foot first and step the right foot just above the left ankle or just above the left knee, hands in the prayer position. Just hold. Again, you can rest and bring your focus to your breath work here. Just steady breathing, meditation. Rest the right foot down and we should focus on to the other side. So we bring the left heel just above the right ankle or above the right knee, hands in the prayer position. Lovely meditation poses, the balance poses, especially an easy pose like the tree pose. So just focus to your breath work, focus to the alignment, focus to the steadiness in the pose. Fix your gaze or leave it unfocused. Another breath in your tree pose. When you're ready, step the left foot back down. Bring feet a little wider out and take a step back from the beginning of the mat. Inhale, stretch arms out and up. Exhale, come to an easy forward bend with your hands about a step or so in front of the feet. Inhale, let's lift up the right foot as much or as little as you like. And then, if you're quite steady, stretch the right arm up to the ceiling into half moon pose. You can either look down to the mat, or if you're feeling steady, then turn your gaze to look up to the right hand. Next exhalation, rest the right hand down, the right foot down, and just hold here. And then when you're ready, float up the left foot as low or as high as you like. Hold there, or if you're steady, reach up with your left hand to the ceiling, directing the gaze either down to the floor or up to the left thumb. Half moon pose. Let's make it another breath in. Exhale to rest the left hand down, rest the left foot down. And then when you're ready, let's step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot, lower the knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, let's take a resting breath in child's pose. And inhale, return to the hands and knees. Then come on up to your knees, bringing your hands together into prayer position. Either rest the dorsum of the foot down to the mat or keep the toes tucked in. Take a breath in and then exhale to lean back a little bit, bending the knees. So we're not doing a back bend here. You should have a straight line from the shoulder through hip down into knee. Even just a little bit of a lean back flexion of the knee will activate the quads nicely. So just aim to feel a little bit of gentle fatigue coming into the quads here. When you're ready, come back up again. Exhale, rest hands, chest and chin down. Inhale, peel up into cobra. And exhale, let's return to the knees again. Then sit all the way down onto the heels. And remember, if you're a little tight in the knees or in the quads today, you could lift the sit bones up and support your weight on your hands or on the knuckles. If you're comfortable enough to sit down on the heels, go ahead and do so. And if you're quite comfortable there, then just lean back and rest your elbows down to the floor. Relax your head back, push into the mat with the elbows, pushing the chest upwards. Just note that nice gentle release into the quads. And then when you're ready, let's push in carefully, lift back up again, and exhale. Let's come forwards, rest the chest and the chin down to the mat, peel up into cobra, and exhale. To be seated onto the heels again. Remember, you can still lift up and support yourself on the hands or the knuckles. If you're comfortable enough to continue on, then separate your heels enough to rest the sit bones down in between the heels, or sit down on the heels as you did before. If you're comfortable, walk the elbows back just like you did in the last version of the pose, or if you're comfortable to continue on, go further, rest your back all the way down to the mat, and then rest your hands down to the heels, or rest your hands behind your head and just holding onto the elbows. And then hold. Note where you feel the stretch and release in this pose. Some might feel more to the low back, some more into the quads. Make sure there's no strain. When you're ready, let's come back up onto the elbows. Push in, lift all the way up to seated. Carefully lift the sit bones up. Exhale. Chest, chin down to the mat. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. And just hold. Take a rest breath here before inhaling to step right foot and then left foot forward so that we come to a seated position, and then lengthen your legs out in front of you. Tuck in your right foot first. Or if there's no strain to the knee, take your right foot behind you into one leg folded back pose. Take a breath in, stretch forwards. Exhale either to head to knee pose, which means that the right foot would be tucked in towards the sit bone in front, or to one leg folded back pose. So as always, just go carefully with your knees in these quad stretches. Make sure there's no strain. Chin or forehead is directed down towards the left knee. When you're ready, inhale, walk hands in to lift up, and exhale. Let's step in with the left foot. You can just hold onto the knee here, direct upwards to the crown of the head, or hold the back of your left knee to lift the foot a little from the floor, or if you know the pose a little better, take the edges of the foot as you float up and then lengthen out your left leg. If you're quite comfortable, then tuck your shoulder towards the knee towards the shoulder, chin towards the left knee or a little inside of the knee, and exhale to rest the left foot down. Let's release the right leg. Maybe a little shake out or rub out here before we proceed on to the other side. So left foot either tucking into the sit bones, head to knee pose, or tucked back behind for one leg folded back pose. Next exhalation, relax into your forward bend. Tiptoeing your hands forward, try to keep the shoulders and the chest squared up at right angles to the extended right leg. Rest the shoulder, chest, or chin or forehead down towards the right knee. Just hold, breathe into that nice release into the quad, into the hamstring, into the lower back. Inhale, walk hands in, and then step in with your right foot. And just gather up the knee and the right elbow, sit tall, or to continue on, reach down to find the back of your right knee, or reach all the way down to the right foot with both hands. Exhale to float the right foot, and then if you're still quite comfortable, no strain to the knee or back, tuck your right knee a little closer in towards the right shoulder, dipping your forehead down to the knee or a little to the inside of the knee. Just hold it there. Let's make it one more good breath in. Exhale to rest the right foot down. Release the left leg. Maybe a little shake out or a rub out for the knee. A shake out for both legs. And then when you're ready, let's just lie all the way back down to the mat and step your feet into the bridge pose position, meaning they're a little wider out than the hips. The toes turn slightly inwards. Rest the head down to the mat. Stretch the fingertips down towards the ankles. Now you could proceed from here or rest the right knee down to the floor with the right ankle tucked behind the left heel, or if there's no strain to your knee, tuck the right leg back into the one leg folded back position. Inhale to push in and float the hips up. So remember, first version, your feet are in bridge pose position. You can lift as high as you like. Second version, the right foot is behind the left heel and you're pushing in to float the hips. Third version, one leg folded back version. Be super careful with your quad and knee. If you have the leg folded back, you won't lift too high in this position. And then next exhalation, let's rest the hips down, release the right leg, a little stretch out, step it into the bridge pose position. So as before, you can now lift up from here or tuck the left ankle behind the right heel, resting the left knee down, or tuck your left foot behind you into the one leg folded back position for the quad stretch. From any of those variations, push in to float the hips up. If you're in bridge pose position, go as high as you like, squeezing the glutes, tucking the navel. And if you have the leg folded back, go extra careful with the knee. Next exhalation, rest the hips back down, release the left leg from the folded back position. And let's get ready for our shoulder stand sequence. Just peel up your back from the mat, support your back with your hands, lifting the toes up towards the ceiling as you ease the chest towards the chin. Just imagine that you're eventually forming a nice straight line from the shoulder through the hip, through the knee, on up through the heel, supporting your hands with your back for the moment. Next exhalation, lower the left foot down to the floor behind you, and then bend the right knee. Hold it right there, so you're in a half plow position. Inhale, float up the left foot again, float up the right foot. Exhale, float the right foot down behind you into the half plow. And optionally then bend the left knee, taking the heel towards the sit bone, and hold. Another half plow with some extra stretch into hip flexor quad on the other side. Inhale, float up both feet. Exhale, now either float your knees down to the forehead or low back, hamstrings permitting, rest your toes down to the floor behind you. Interlock your fingers behind your back and stretch your hands down to the mat. Hold it there in plow pose. Remember, knees could be resting to forehead or just hanging suspended above the forehead. No strain. Next exhalation, just lower the knees down as close to the forehead as they will comfortably go. And then when you're ready, let's support the back again as you carefully unroll back down to the mat. Tuck in your knees, give a little stretch out, massage out, and rock out for your back. Rest the feet all the way down. Stretch arms out to about shoulder height on either side. Cross your right leg over the left leg. Just crossing the right knee over left. Exhale to rest your knees over to the left side. Look over the right shoulder. Rest the left hand down onto the right knee. And then when you're ready, reach down with your right hand to find the left ankle. So we continue drawing the right knee over to the left side with the left hand. We add a little more stretch to quad and hip flexor on the left side using the right hand, looking over the right shoulder. Hold it right there. Breathe into wherever you feel the stretch and release in this pose. When you're ready, release your hold on the legs. Let's come back to center and cross the left knee over right. A good breath in, stretch arms out to about shoulder height on either side, and then exhale to rest your knees down onto the right hand side. Secure your left knee with the right hand, reach down for the right ankle with the left hand, look over the left shoulder, continue adding stretch into the left hip by drawing the left knee closer to the floor, and add stretch into the right hip flexor using the left hand to draw the foot back behind you. Hold it there. Steady breathing, looking over left shoulder. When you're ready, let's release. Come back to center. And then tuck in the knees. And it'll rock out eventually to come all the way back up to a seated position. Just take a little rest breath here if you like. Eventually to hop or swing your feet around behind you, coming to box position. Lower the chest and chin down to the mat. Rest your head down to the hands. Give a little shake out for the hips, for the quads, a resting breath. And then tuck your elbows in underneath the shoulders into Sphinx pose. Abdomen pushing down into the mat, a gentle back extension. To continue on, tuck the toes under, lift your hips up into a half low plank position. Lift up the right knee, optional of course. Optionally lift up both knees, hold it here, or to continue on, stretch up with your right hand to the ceiling, directing your gaze up to the right hand, pushing in with the left hand, rotating low plank pose. Parivrtta Vasisthasana. Rest the right elbow down to the floor again, staying in that low plank. Remember, you could rest the right knee down, or you could rest both knees down, or we hold. And then optionally stretch up with your left hand, rotating the pose to the left hand side this time and directing the gaze upwards. Pushing in with the right elbow, strengthening and toning, steady breathing. Next exhalation, rest the left elbow back down to the mat, rest the knees down, the hips down, abdomen down, and rest your head down to the hands. Just take a resting breath. Let's tuck hands in under the shoulders. Inhale to peel up, exhale, sit bones back down to the heels. And inhale, back up to the hands and knees. Let's bring the right knee in between the hands as we get ready for Royal Pigeon Pose. You can hold here, or if there's no strain to the hip or knee, then tuck your right foot over towards the left hip. Just hold, pushing into the mat, easing into the pose. Either hold right there, beautiful transition phase of the pose, just to hold in, or to continue on, try bending the left knee. Push in with your hands, lift up a little higher, reach around to take the left ankle with the left hand. You could reach around to the outside, or for a little more release into the chest and shoulder, take your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Just hold or gradually add a little more stretch into the quad, tucking the left heel a bit closer in towards you, maybe gathering and taking the left ankle into the left elbow. When you're ready, let's carefully release, come back around to center, walk the hands forward, rest your abdomen down towards the right leg, rest your head down, just rest. Note that good deep stretch into the hip rotators on the right side. The piriformis gets a great stretch here, glute medius and minimus. Inhale to walk hands in, lift up, sit down onto the right hand side and swing your left foot all the way around to the front, bending the knee, ready for half spinal twist. Take the left foot just outside the right knee, gather up the left knee and the right elbow, take the left hand behind, inhale, push in, come up tall through the crown of the head, just hold. To continue a little more into the rotation, take right elbow to the outside of the left knee. You could reach it down to the floor or to the right knee, or eventually all the way around to the left instep. Look over left shoulder. Continue pushing in with your left hand, keeping the back as long as you can, keeping both sit bones down on the floor, so it's the left sit bone you want to focus to there. Another good breath in and exhale. Let's release. A little counter stretch onto the right hand side and then release. Let's swing the right leg around behind, the left knee stays folded. We lift up onto the hands. You can sit down onto the left heel, just push in through the knuckles or through the palm of the hand, or take your left foot a little more over towards the right hip. Hold it there, just easing into the pose on the left side. So we're stretching right hip flexor and the glutes, hip rotators on the other side. Hold, or now bend the right knee, reaching back with your right hand to take either the outside of the right ankle or rotate the shoulder externally to reach around to the inside of the right ankle. And if there's a little more stretch to go, bend the knee a bit more, and just gathering the right foot into the right elbow. Hold it there and exhale. Now let's release. Walk the hands out in front. Just rest the abdomen down to your left leg. Rest and breathe into the release. And let's walk hands in, lift all the way up. Take the right leg all the way around to the front, either just to gather up and hold, or cross the right foot outside the left knee. Turn to your right hand side, just holding the right knee with the left hand, or gather the knee into the left elbow, or to add a little more depth to the rotation, take the left elbow outside the right knee, eventually resting the left hand down to the floor, or finding the left knee, or eventually reaching out to find the right instep. Continue pushing in with your right hand, look over the right shoulder, squeeze the abdomen against your right thigh. Keep the breathing steady and deep here. And then when you're ready, let's release. A little counter, turn onto the other side. And come back to center. Let's lengthen out the legs, give a little shake out, just rest back. Hands behind you, step the feet out a little wider, push in. Take a good breath in, push hips and chest forward, and exhale, release. Let's tuck the feet in to a comfortable cross-legged pose. If you are comfortable in lotus or half lotus, you can tuck your feet in, ready to focus to your breath work, a little meditation or energy work. Rest hands down onto the knees or to the ankles. If you like, you can rest the chin down to the chest. Bring your hands into Gyan Mudra, just bringing the thumb and forefinger together, extending the other three fingers on either side. Steady your breathing. Focus to your breath work, just noting the quality and depth of your breath cycles. And then if you like, we can focus to the solar plexus chakra today, your Manipura Chakra, by bringing the fingertips together and crossing right thumb over left. and placing your hands just over the area between the sternum and the navel. This is the energy center associated with power and abundance and confidence. Traditionally the color is gold, but you can choose any other color that feels appropriate to you. Just hold your awareness here. Note any thoughts that arise or sensations in the area of your focus. And now when you're ready, let's just lie all the way back down to the mat into Shavasana, your relaxation pose. Allow your breath to find its natural depth and rhythm. Just allow the mind to wander if you like. Now let's begin to bring awareness back into the room. Rock the head slowly from side to side, move the fingers and the toes. Maybe take a little stretch out. Good breath in. And then eventually just push. Rock your way back up into a seated position. Feet again into cross-legged pose, hands to prayer position. Namaste. Thank you so very much indeed, guys, for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please do remember to like, maybe subscribe, leave a comment or two, and I will see you all next time.